Well, good day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm kind of doing a miscellaneous hodgepodge here of things that I've been sent. So this is mail time. Welcome to mail time. Did you hear the bell? Yes, that's mail call. For you guys that served in the U.S. Navy or other navies, perhaps. Yeah, mail call was really important back then when you were stranded on a metal ship out at sea for weeks or months on end. Mail was real important. We're here for mail time. So one of the first things I got was a package. The box is no longer here, but I got a package with a letter from Ted Monk, and this is a nicely typed letter, red, sort of an italic typeface from Ted Monk. He sent me a package of typewriter feet that he has cast himself. If you see my previous video, I've already uploaded a video about that. I installed some of these feet on Hermes 3000 and the Olympia SM3. They work great. Thank you, Ted. I love your letter as well, and I like your little stationary letterhead kind of thing. That reminds me, guys, I really need to do some stationary letterhead, something or other, for people that I send letters to, right? Of course. Well, I got a letter here from Christopher Mckellar of Salt Lake City, Utah. And Christopher, we're sort of pen pals. I am less faithful to write than he is. He's always faithful to send letters. And this is a really cool, how many pages is this? This is like a 5-page letter. And do I remember what his typewriter was? Let's see. This is the Smith Corona Courier he started with. And he has a nice letterhead as well, and some nice graphics on his letter. And it's really nice to get letters from people periodically. He switches to the SM7 midway through, and it's a black and green ribbon, so he's using the green highlights. And then he switches to a Smith Corona Skywriter in his letter. And then a Smith Corona Super from 1953 with a smaller, like a Pike Elite typeface, I should say. And then he switches finally on the last page to a Royal FPE, roughly 1960s era. So that was really cool, Christopher, having multiple typewriters, 5-page letter. You've set the bar high, my friend, for letters, and I'm going to have to be a little bit better about writing my letters better. Okay, another letter that I got from Michael Arau. He lives in Tacoma, Washington. He has a nifty little typewriter stamp on his return address stamp. His letter was not typewritten. No, it was handwritten with fountain pen. And it's really cool. He has he has a letterhead. Another hint to yours truly that I need to get some letterheads printed up. He made a nice little page-and-a-half little note in fountain pen. I really love it. I thank you, Michael, for that. So it's kind of cool that people do this. John Maye from Moncton, New Brunswick, our neighbors to the north in Canada, the Maritimes. Thank you, John. I appreciate your faithfulness. John's been a longtime viewer of this channel and also a participant in the typing assignments, which we haven't done. We need to do a typing assignment. Yes, thank you for reminding me, John. So this letter was typed on some 1/4-inch grid paper, dated February 20th, 2021. And it's a really cool letter that is sort of a purplish colored ink, a really nice imprint. And do I see here what typewriter it is? I don't remember if I do, but anyway, it's a great letter, a nice signature. You know, this reminds me, just a 1-page letter, it means so much to people. You don't have to do, you know, Christopher's 5-page multiple typewriter letters. You can just do a 1-pager. Just send somebody a letter. It'll mean a lot to them, especially handwritten or hand-typed. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity that it gives me to sit down and return these letters by replying myself, which, by the way, I haven't done yet. Okay, so we have also, I have a young fella who lives in Zarupa Valley, California, near Riverside, I guess, and he is a teenager, and he is interested in typewriters, and we've been corresponding back and forth. He's a lot more faithful to send me cards and letters than I am to reply, and apologize. But anyway, he sent me this really cool letter from Riverside, California, postcard from Riverside, California, and he also sent me this letter. And he's also sent me a bunch of other postcards and letters, by the way. But he was doing He's telling me how his community is doing and his school is doing, and he's in the 7th grade, and how they're dealing with COVID-19, and he's interested in typewriters, and I recently sent him the Hermes Rocket, and I just saw this last week that he received it, and even this last Sunday's Typewriter Club live streaming video, he was on there in comments on YouTube, and I really appreciate your faithfulness to send letters and cards, and I'm sorry I don't get a chance to respond as often as I should, but okay. These 2 packages actually are kind of special. We're going to save those. But I have a box here, and this is a book that I ordered, and I don't really know what it was about. I kind of forgot. And yeah, it does take a while for overseas shipments to get into the United States for some reason. Oh yes, I remember now. Box Camera Now by Lucas Burke and photographers around the world. This is a book about box cameras and the people who make them and use them. And it is wrapped in plastic. And the book is covered front to back with a laser engraved, laser etched artwork. And this looks like kind of like Afghan box camera style box cameras. Oh, this is such a cool book. Just the craftsmanship, the way this thing is put together. Look at that. And I'm going to have to do an overhead shot. We'll do that here a little bit later. But let's get back to the rest of mail time, shall we? That's really exciting. I had forgotten what I ordered, and it was definitely worth the wait. Okay, so I have a overseas envelope from Florian Jung, who lives in Bonn, Germany. And Florian is a master craftsman with the art of paper making. And Florian sent me a wonderful packet of homemade papers and envelopes. He has a really cool business card that's kind of a mat board thickness, nicely printed. So he says in a little PS note, he says, not every paper samples are good for fountain pens or other pens that use ink. If you use it, please try the flax paper, I believe is what he says there. So he sends me a nice little letter, and it's typed in purplish ink on homemade paper with his embossed initials in it, which is really a nice touch in a fountain pen signature. Just so you know, he had sent me a package like this some months ago in the mail, and it got lost. It never arrived. So he inquired, he was concerned about it, and he went to the trouble of sending me a second shipment. So I'm really sorry about the postal system. So this sheet itself is pure flax with some static grass that is originally used by modelers. So there's little flakes of the tiny little, I guess, plasticky grass fibers in here. It gives the paper a lively touch. He produced 40 sheets as end paper for a book project of this, okay? And then there is, I'm going to read from his letter as I pull out these others. Let's see if I get the right one here. The poison bilious green paper is 100% cotton and was colored with green acrylic paint during the process of pulp making. There are also chestnut blossoms to find. It doesn't look beautiful. It was a try that went wrong. I think it's great. So he has a homemade envelope here, right? A little flap. And inside of it, you know, it's just, you can put cards and notes in there, and there's actually a sheet of the paper that will go in here that you can write on and make a wonderful little gift for somebody. And there's another envelope here also. The small brown envelope is 80% flax and, as far as I remember, 20% eucalyptus colored with Yorkshire tea, and a small spoon of glimmer, which I think he means glitter, is also part of the pulp. So there's kind of a shine to it as I reflect light on it, a glittery shine. And then, and it's, oh yeah, and it's a small envelope like that, and it has its own little note paper for writing a note on it, which is wonderful. It's already set up to write a note and address it and mail it off. And these are wonderful artifacts of paper making. What looks like strawberry colored bookmark is 100% flax with parts of a leaf that was laid on the wet paper before one layer of pulp covered it. So there's kind of a leafy imprint right here. along the edge there, that just the texture of a leaf you might be able to see there. That's pretty cool for a bookmark. The white envelope, let's see if I get the right one here. The white envelope is air-dried flax and chestnut blossoms, which once were purple and unluckily turned brown while drying. And it has a note card inside for writing on also, which is out of the same homemade paper, which is very cool. And then there is the yellow envelope, which is 100% cotton that contains lavender. And he says the lavender blossom lost its color and smell, so there's little bits of lavender blossom that look more greenish colored now. And there is a little sheet in here, a note sheet for writing a note on, which is wonderful. These are like delicate, wonderful artifacts. And then finally, the beige envelope contains cornflower blossoms and is made of mulberry bark. So these cornflower blossoms, mulberry bark. There's the actual envelope. Look how wonderful that is. Oh, yeah. This paper is also called Himalayan paper, Lokto or Mitsumi in Japan, right? And the fibers of these trees give a certain satin-like varnish, which makes this kind of paper a favorite for many paper junkies. So, wow, what a great sampling of the fine craftsmanship that, Florian, you do with paper making. You are truly an artist, and I feel really blessed. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to use them to write notes on and mail out to people because, you know, I have a bunch of unanswered letters, right? So you've given me resources, Florian, and I really appreciate your work. And not to be left out of the mail time, of course, is Mr. Bob Marshall. He has a wonderful motorcycle-themed graphic seal here. Bob lives in Riverside, California. You know, that Riverside, California is getting to be a popular place for typewriter aficionados. Our friend Gregory Short, who is the Poor Typist and runs the Sunday morning live typewriter club meetings, lives in Riverside. What I got from Bob was I got a nice hand-typed letter, and I love this kind of beige paper with a wax seal. So cool, Bob. And it's a nicely typed letter from the bench of Bob Marshall. And when he says bench, he means that Bob is a master mechanical artist, mechanical craftsman. And what he's put together here is a little device called a Speedy Spooler, and he actually sent me two of these. I sent one to my friend Kevin to try out. What the Speedy Spooler is a little assortment of fittings that enables you to take a typewriter ribbon spool, mount it on this little bolt, put it in your electric-powered screwdriver or drill, and then wind on ribbon from either a bulk supply, like if you buy those Baco ribbons in the big spools, or winding on from another spool. You can use this for winding ribbons. He also provides a nice little instruction sheet with illustrations that he's done. And what I like about this is he not only has, of course, the bolt with the grippy part where you can chuck it in your drill, but he has an assortment of different fittings, different washers and stuff for different size ribbon spools. Most notable is this kind of conical, beveled, rubbery washer fitting, and this is really handy for those Olivetti-style spools that have the large opening on the front, on the top of the hub for the Olivetti-style shoulder nuts. There's several different kinds of these washers like that, and then there is a thumb screw, a wing nut, I should say, that enables you to quickly attach it. So you basically put your spool on here with whatever style nut you need or washer you need to make it fit tightly. Chuck it in your drill or your powered screwdriver and wind on your ribbons. So I wanted to do a better review of this. I will do another review video and actually show you how this works, but I wanted to give Bob certainly the attention here and the notice that I've got it and it's there. And so if you're interested in getting one of these Speedy Spoolers, go to typewritermuse.com. Bob Marshall makes these things up, and he makes them in batches. And he is also a member of Austin Typewriter Inc. If you're not familiar with Austin Typewriter Inc., go into Facebook and check them out. They're a real cool group of people. Well, so I do get some things sent to me, a lot of cards and letters and things to try out. And I also buy things, of course, like this book, right, which took me a while to get, but I'm glad I did. I also buy things online, and I am rather susceptible to advertising, I must admit. So these are Knox. This is a new brand of binocular. And I first saw this on a Facebook ad, and I know you're rolling your eyes immediately. Oh, he's one of these guys that's susceptible to Facebook advertising. You're going to get ripped off, buddy. Well, it turns out these are really decent binoculars. First of all, let's start with the packaging. We'll look at the binocular itself. Well, this is the box that the Knox come in, and their emphasis really is kind of using recyclable packaging in such a way that there's no plastics or whatever that are wasted. Everything is just recycled paper. I really love the way they do the information about the design of the product, its features, and then when you open the box up, so you have this kind of spread here, just the way they market it with symbols and the features of the binocular. Get ready to feast your eyes, which is really kind of true, right? It's a really nice product. So the binoculars come in this cardboard holder here, and it actually comes with a cloth drawstring pouch and a small thin camera strap. And it tells you how to connect your cell phone to the eyepiece of the binocular if you want to take some digital photos. Comes with a nice little sticker if you're interested in that, right? That's kind of cool. And then it's just kind of the marketing of the way they have these little logos in there in the box for it's just a nice product, the way it's designed. And if you go to their website, you'll find that they continue the same kind of style in their website. It's just really wonderful to see that. But the thing I really love about this company is their customer service and their communication to the customer. So these are the binoculars Knox. These are 8 by 25, so 8 times magnification and 25 millimeter diameter objective lenses. So the lenses are fully coated. I don't know if you can see the reflections there in my video lights, but the surfaces are coated and the eyepiece surfaces are coated. They're using BAK4 glass in the prisms. I like the way the eyepieces will screw down or raise up depending on whether you have glasses or not, which gives you variable eye relief, right? See if you can see that eye relief changes, so you can change it for glasses. These are nice and rubberized. So there is a central focuser for focusing, and then on the right eyepiece, you have an adjustable diopter for the variation between left and right eye. And of course, the interpupillary distance is easy to set, and it's just the feel of this binocular is very slick and elegant. These are waterproof down to about 3 feet, and they're sealed and purged with compressed dry nitrogen gas. You can get these in a series of colors, and I chose, of course, this teal color. But it's really a nicely made binocular, and of course it has binocular strap lugs, and I chose to use, this sailor strap, which is it's a guy in Poland who sells these or makes these camera straps out of nautical nylon rope and stitched together with leather on the rings. And I happen to have been not using it for my current photography setup, so it was sitting in a drawer, and I thought, my goodness, I have a teal colored binocular now, the Knox, and now I have a light green strap. It's just an ideal setup. But if you go to the Knox website, they have a whole bunch of different kinds of binocular straps, colorful, different patterns if you're interested in that. So the Knox do come with this cloth drawstring carrying pouch. They have a cleaning cloth, and they have a standard binocular strap, which of course I opted to use this sailor strap that I had already. But the binoculars, even with a strap on it, you can put these binoculars in their little pouch and just draw it closed. It's going to keep them nice and clean and dry, and you could even carry it over your shoulder or whatever. I bought these with my own hard-earned money, and I really like them, and I look forward to using them. Well, so I'm really pleased overall with these binoculars, surprised at the quality, really like the design. The optical performance is wonderful, knowing that they're waterproof and sealed, and just the kind of the choice of colors other than a black binocular, right? It's really neat. I'm really impressed with just the design of the packaging, and also the ethics of the company, that they're very communicative to their customers. Customer service is just excellent. So they're kind of like, to me, they represent this kind of new wave of manufacturing and marketing where things are made in China, but they are vetted for quality by a U.S.-based a manufacturer or designer, and then they have excellent customer service, so your interfacing between you and the product is really well done. And so I'm really glad I got these, and I'm looking forward to using them. And with my sailor strap, camera strap, this makes a really handy way to carry these things when you're out on a hike, and you can just bring them right up to your eyes and use them and throw them on the side like that. It's going to be really fun using these. And so I've never been a birder that much, but hey, I got binoculars now. Maybe I'll go out, and when I'm hiking around and I hear a bird, I'll have an opportunity to take a look at him a little bit clearer. Let's just quickly flip through this Box Camera Now book, and then I'll have some closing thoughts. Box Camera Now by Lucas Burke and photographers around the world. Plywood front and back cover. It's very interesting binding here. Really love this. Look at the precision of those pages. Everything is squared off like a box, like you would expect, right? Okay, we won't go through the entire book, but this is Fraglick Publishing. Wonderful 3-color printing here. Isn't that so cool? And this is a little illustration of all the different countries for the photographers participated from. Introduction. I don't know if you can smell this paper. You don't have smell-o-vision probably. A lot of traditional photos made with these kinds of what you might call Afghan box cameras. Back in the 30s, or the 1920s and 30s in France and Turkey. In that case, this is cool. This is in Mali in the year 2011. Here's the year 2019, a meeting of box camera photographers that inspired me, the author Lucas, to finalize this book. Okay, Box Camera Now. Oh, that's really cool graphics. And all the different artists, the cameras they use, and some of the portraits that they've shot. I don't have the time to flip through the entire book, but I'm just going to. There is a section in the back, by the way, that's sort of a technical section about building box cameras and using them, building a box camera and how they're used. And it's really such a cool resource. And of course, they're all uniquely done. No two are alike, right? And that's true with the one that I built, is also very unique. But just some wonderful portraiture. This is such an inspiring book. I'll put a link down below in the description if you're interested in purchasing this book. But this is a wonderful resource for anybody who is into Afghan box cameras and box camera photography. Well, I think I'm going to do a more thorough review of this book because I have also another book about Afghan photographers. So I think that those two books would make a great video. By the way, I misspoke earlier. The printing on this plywood cover, front and back cover, it looks like it's like offset printed. It's not laser engraved, but it's just wonderful craftsmanship. And speaking of wonderful craftsmanship, Florian's handmade papers and envelopes and note cards are just absolutely marvelous. And he's a real true artist and craftsman, and I feel really blessed to have him sent me these. I'm going to definitely share these as I write more cards and letters out myself to all my people that send me letters, and more than I can really answer, actually. And also Bob Marshall for your Speedy Spooler. I'm going to do a review of that also. But just wanted to touch base with all these loose ends that have been coming in. And of course, Javier's card here and his numerous cards and letters. Thank you very much for that. Oh, and of course, don't forget the Knox binoculars. Another great thing I got in the mail. Well, that's it. That's mail time for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And it's great having the communication of other people around your country or around the world who shares with you cards and letters and other things, ordering books online like this that are so well crafted, such a blessing. So there's a world of creativity out there. A lot of people that are so talented, like Florian in this case, or Ted Monk, or Bob Marshall, just great craftspeople. They have their own little particular angle on the way they do things, and I just feel so blessed to be a part of it. Well, guys, that's it for now. And as always, you know the drill. Stay creative and have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye for now.